You're listening to Take 5, the podcast where we pause the noise and tune into the stories that matter. Real people, real life, right here in our community. Let's go.
This is Paddling on a World Stage by Francesca Pacciano. Maleah Harris was just 16 when she paddled for Team Canada at the Outrigger World Distance Championships in Brazil last summer. As the only Stz'uminus member on the team, she represented her nation and honored her family's history on a world stage. Her family's ties to paddling extend back for generations. Her grandfather and her mother both paddled for the local war canoe races. Even her older sister had taken up the sport. When Maleah picked up her first paddle at the age of 11, she took to the water immediately. It clears my mind when I'm on the water. It's relaxing and it's fun. I also get to do it with all my friends. The war canoe racing schedule follows daily trainings from Monday to Thursday with weekends for races on the island and mainland from May to September. But the war canoe races on their own weren't enough of a challenge. When she was 15, she started outrigging. The sport of outrigging, as it is known today, is based on ancient Polynesian voyaging canoes. The canoes have an ama, a flotation outrigger that runs parallel to the canoe for stability. Maleah races in a single, known as an OC1, and with her team in a 6-person canoe, an OC6. Adding the training for outrigging into her schedule wasn't difficult. She just alternated which vessel she took out into the water. It's definitely a challenge because you're higher when you're on the outrigger boat. When you're in a war canoe, your seat is lower to the floor. Maleah developed the technique needed to be a skilled paddler and began racing where she could. For Brazil, we actually did our tryouts in the atmospheric river. Despite the severe rain, Maleah qualified for Team Canada. The Junior 16 women's team was all Indigenous paddlers from BC, with Cowichan and Fraser Valley athletes. But Maleah was the only one from Stz'uminus. The World Distance Championships took place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and brought together hundreds of athletes from across the globe. The race, Maleah said, was located in the bay, with Christ the Redeemer in the mountains above them. It felt like I was just in another world. I was so far away from home. It was so different. Unfortunately for the Junior 16 women's team, that difference wasn't limited to the water. 2 of the athletes weren't able to get visas for the event. A Brazilian athlete subbed in for their skipper, allowing their crew to still compete. Maleah said that despite the language barrier, the skipper was trying to coach them and gave them tips ahead of the race. She was encouraging us out there. During the race, Maleah used the teachings of her canoe family and traditional practices to stay focused. Her mother, Steph, explained it as, the canoe carries life, and they sense your emotions. If you have a heavy heart or something distracting you, the canoe feels it and won't carry you as well. With each pull and splash of the water, Maleah remembered her training. She focused her mind, and when they crossed the finish line, her team won bronze. There was definitely a sense of pride to be able to carry that all the way over there. Her mother attended the race with Maleah. It was definitely a great experience, and pride knowing that we were traveling across the sea to compete in such a competition, and I was just in awe. While Steph was cheering in the audience, back home Maleah's family were watching the TV. It was nice connecting with family back at home, and they got to watch it on TV. It's such a great pride for our family, and it brought so much togetherness. This summer, Maleah plans on staying local. The tryouts for the world distance in Singapore were just after the Brazil race, and instead of pushing herself too far too soon, she chose to take a break. She will compete in the war canoe races this summer, and she's open to any local opportunities to race with the outrigger. But most of all, she's looking forward to being on the water. I love it.
That's a wrap on this edition of Take 5. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and hey, take 5.